I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Caroga. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender. Falsehood, important news are needed new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's gonna be under one roof. You're gonna run it like a business. That means you're gonna make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before, or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I play Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Caroga.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Bed Life for Monday, April 26, 2021. And we are doing a little bit different setup here. I am streaming through StreamYard, despite having the setup I normally have, so I wanted to check, make sure everything was working. Now, we are limited to 720p for today. If this works out, I can go ahead and upgrade StreamYard so we can get the full 1080p, but I figured we'd try it a couple times and make sure it works before I pay what's like almost double the price for the HD option, the 1080 HD option in StreamYard. So please be honest. Let me know mostly how was the audio working. I know a couple of people said it was quiet. I then upped the volume a bit. I don't know if it changes how loud you guys hear it or not. I'm still learning the system a bit. So please do let me know. I'll read the chat in a moment. Let me know. Let me know if you can hear me and whatnot. Yes, I know 720p is HD, rock solid, but full HD of 1080p is what I'm talking about. Usually, Bed Life is broadcast in 1080p. Right now, we're in 720, which isn't a big deal, except perhaps if you're trying to read text during Dear Bop or something. But it really isn't a big concern unless you've got me on like a 60-inch or 65-inch television, and God knows why anyone would want to do that. Where are we? Not Ryan Johnson says hello in Qapla. Hail Caroga, not Ryan Johnson. And Thomas's channel changes. Bird is getting a boob job. No, I'm not getting a boob job. I said all the cool people are moving to Twitch, to which Thomas says, anti-tracker's cool, you must be unwell. And then I responded, I am the Lizard Queen, which is a quote from Lisa Simpson from the episode of The Simpsons where they go to Krusty Land, Itchy and Scratchy Land, and Lisa is dared to drink by Bart the water from the It's a Small World knockoff ride, and then she becomes sick and running around the park yelling she was the lizard queen. So that's where that quote came from. Professor Brainy Specs is Bird of Prey. What are you on? Well, I'm on Itchy and Scratchy Land water, apparently. Let's see, where else are we doing here? I'll just keep reading. John DeMarco says, I think Bird is broken. No, not so much. Oh, right. So today we are simulcasting Bed Life on Twitch and on Facebook. The Birdo Pray 5 page on Facebook. And now I don't know if about Mom Mopray got Facebook notifications, so that's good. So I don't know how often we'll stream on Facebook, but if I do pay for the upgraded service, I can actually simulcast stream to 8 different places. So, but mostly the main thing is that if you do follow me on Twitch, the positive thing is that you will get an email notification from Twitch letting you know I went live. So if you used to get YouTube notifications from email, Twitch will send out an email within your first 5 minutes of someone going live. It is better than nothing. And even if you watch me on YouTube, you may want to subscribe to me on Twitch. I am not going to even attempt to become a Twitch affiliate, because if I did become a Twitch affiliate, I would not legally be allowed to live stream to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. And literally the only reason I am thank you, Caroga Knight, for following me on Twitch. The only reason I am streaming to Twitch is for people can get notifications that YouTube no longer sends. That is it. Now, if you want to follow me on Twitch, that's all well and good. Unfortunately, I probably will not see your comments because I am looking at the YouTube comment window. I'm not looking at the StreamYard comment window. I might be able to set something up for another day, but I didn't think about it. So, yeah. Although I'm simulcasting to other places, YouTube is today the only way I can actually get any comment feedback. Thomas Potts says, "Don't do drugs, kids," and I agree. That's good advice. Professor Brainy Speck says he needs to get out of here. I'm sorry, Professor. There's no escape. Only Zool for some reason. I said that. Professor says help. And he says, oh, sure, have a members only when I'm at work. So tomorrow, Tuesday, we're going to do a 1 hour long members only stream from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern. And then at 5 p.m. or 5:05 or 5:15, and once everybody's resettled and I have something to drink, we will do a regular stream for another couple hours for everybody. But my contractually obligated members only stream. Now there's some stuff I want to go over. I'll go over that in a few minutes because I'm making some changes to the channel. And that's some stuff we need to discuss. I'll give it a few more minutes if anyone else shows up as I finish reading some more of the chats. Professor Brainy says, Scotty, emergency transport. If he transports you, Professor, good for you. Thomas says, I was going to help until you said, Hail Caroga, so goodbye. Professor Brainy Specs did say, Hail Caroga. Professor Brainy Specs says, I am conditioned and brainwashed to say that, Thomas. Kronos says first in chat, though he's not first. And then he says, oh crap. And he says, hello to everybody. And Kronos says, I drool for Zool in that outfit. And he says, oh sure, nobody touched that one. We all loved Zool, right? Right? And Kronos says, oh crap. And he says, 30 minutes till Birdo Prey is late. I have lots of Nun Sinatra songs to listen to. I read that 3 times to myself. I have lots of non-Sinatra songs to listen to. See, people are trying to confuse me by purposely giving me nonsense to read. Cooperman, Qapla Cooperman says, shouldn't it be Stowaway Stinks Sunday? Well, I only watched it today. So it's Stowaway Stinks Monday. And for, once the fact that it's not in a YouTube title, it's really Stowaway Sucks Monday. Caroga, Cooperman says maniac is the word for Monday. Manic. It's just another manic Monday. Yeah. No, it is. Stowaway's bad. We'll get to that. And Cooperman says Qapla Cooperman. And Chrono says, I need to walk like a Carogan now. Wow. Walk like a Carogan. Chrono says, here's the thing, Carogans don't walk. I don't walk, Chronos, but other Carogans do. And Cooperman, no, you spell Qapla just fine. Thomas Potts found some emoji that is, I believe he said, it's the bearded lady emoji. Kind of works. I don't know what that was supposed to be. Cooperman says, yeah, but he has trouble spelling in English, and he uses that daily. Yeah, well, his Klingon was fine. It was a little off, but it was fine. Kronos says, oh crap, birds here. Yes, Kronos. And Cooperman says, besides, he's getting old and forgetful, and he really doesn't care as much now. Well, that's the best way. That's the best way. Kronos says, you're not old unless you feel it. Well, then I'm old, because, man, I'm feeling it. Thomas Potts, Kronos asked if Potts is here, to which Thomas said no. Cooperman says, as my dad always said, if you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit. Good one. Kronos says, what does that mean? I don't know. And Kronos says, just baffle and dazzle at the same time. Cooperman says, I don't know, I was just a kid, and my dad always used to say it. My dad always used to say, don't get married. No, actually, it was more his friends who said, don't get married. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. He used to take me to the yacht club. Every single guy at that yacht club said the same piece of advice. Don't get married. Don't get married. Don't get married. And I didn't. Not because they said so. God knows I was trying. But, yeah, just worked out that way. And they all died. They all died young. They all died young. Even though if you're married, you're supposed to live longer. They all died young. Rock Solid says, hashtag birds late. Hashtag Lato Pray 5. Hashtag Bird doesn't come to my premieres. I came to a couple. Hashtag is Bird really soft putty? No, I'm not soft putty. Hashtag. Hashtag pound sign. Hashtag no spoilers. Hashtag Bird hates me. I don't hate you. Hashtag Emily Van Camp is hot. Emily Van Camp is hot. Hashtag hail on Caroga. I have no idea who Emily Van Camp is. Kronos says, sounds like a joker, and says hey to Soft Buddy, who's not here. Kronos says, I can't understand anything Rox is typing, is saying it's all good. Cooperman says, passed. He had a sudden stop. Lol, yeah, he passed away 10 plus years ago. He was only giving us little nuggets of wisdom. Some good, some bad, but always meant well. I get that, and condolences. Kronos also says condolences and says, miss my smart elders, Kronos does. They had nuggets as well. Cooperman says, that's all right, but thanks. No one you loved is never really gone. This is also true. Chrono says, I hope not. Cooperman says, I'm winning more arguments now, though. That's cool. Chrono says, I'm still waiting for Rox to get me some new stereo equipment and maybe a new PS2. Wow. You know how hard it was? I was trying to buy a PS3 USB a USB PS3 controller, an original Sony USB controller for a PS3. They just don't exist. I didn't want wireless. I wanted the wired controller. Couldn't find one. I only looked on Amazon, mind you, but I shouldn't have to look further than Amazon. Hell, they didn't even have all that many off-brand replacements. Kronos' debaters are for schoolers. Cooperman says, I got a new Sony 5.1 theater system, 1200 watts. I barely use now. Yeah. I had a Bose surround sound system for a while. I never used it. I took it apart. I sold it. Yeah, Kronos says sold. Kronos says depends, however. I'm a Ferengi. Kronos says, Bird of Prey, are you lurking? Not anymore. I'm actually streaming. Professor Brainy Specs says Thomas Potts doesn't care about suffering and brainwashing. I am experiencing. He doesn't care about the suffering and brainwashing. I'm sorry to hear that, Professor. Kronos says there is brain manipulation, apparently. John DeMarco puts in a dolphin. I assume that's for Life with Matthew. Cooperman says, yeah, I'm not suffering from that. I just ignore everything. That is the way to go through life. Kronos will buy the dolphin. I don't know. Kronos says, I am the cure, and he's just greedy. Bird taught him well. Wow. Cooperman says, I think it's more mental torture than brainwashing. And Kronos goes drip, 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 drip. Yes, that's the way to get him. Cooperman says, there are those who do a lot of mental gymnastics, but their brain still hasn't shown any development. And Kronos' brain is hurting. Yep, I would imagine it is. John DeMarco says, greetings, everyone. Greetings, John DeMarco. Kronos says, Bird of Prey, I come from the land down. You come from the land down Aussie. Well, Aussie O'Prey loves his fellow Australians. Okay, now I'm not going to do Aussie O'Prey for long because I don't want to lose everybody on the channel, but I just have to tell you, when you get the time, you come down here to Australia, you come out down to Perth or Adelaide or Sydney or any of our cities, and you just ask, hey, where's Aussie O'Prey? And they'll point you to the outback. You come on a walkabout, you find me, and I'll hook you up with a nice Aussie steak dinner, Outback special, now $12.99 with Gold Coast shrimp. Rock Solid says 4:02 is not 4 o'clock. Hashtag birds late. Hashtag late O'Prey. That's bullshit, Rock Solid. That came in at 4 p.m. The YouTube timestamp is 4 o'clock. Live with Matthew says, Qapla, Bird of Prey, and all Qapla, Live with Matthew. Somebody left you a dolphin earlier. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47 Yorktown. Live with Matthew is the one who said it was a little quiet. So hopefully it's not as quiet now. Yeah. And Milwaukee Brewers donated $1 and got Kissing Dax. Oh, awesome. The Milwaukee Brewers says, due to us beating the Cubs on Sunday, we are announcing every home game is video game emulation game. Get your tickets by going to www.mlb.com/brewers/tickets. This is my crew, and hail Caroga. Yay, every day is emulation day for the Milwaukee Brewers. Congratulations on their recent victory. Roxanne says, what audio? I hope that was a joke. Chrono says there's an echo. There's an echo. That's not good. Roxod's vertebrae, a different setup. Whose photo did you remove? Who's going to... I didn't remove any photos from the wall. 720 is HD. I know. Rock Solid says up the volume. Well, up yours. Chrono says I don't want to see Bird of Prey in HD. Aberjam says 720p is 3/4 HD. Thomas says wow, Bird skipped all the comments. No, I just took one out of order, Thomas. Rock Solid says Bird of Prey, make sure you're at 720p. Almost looks 480. I'm at 720p. Okay, I believe. Let's see. My stream. It's saying 720p. Cooperman lols. Chrono says yay to boobs. Light Matters says 720p is good enough. Don't pay more. Well, if I'm going to start streaming everything through this, I'm going to pay for it. And AOC's boobs with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, AOC's boobs. Says, I came for the coffee, but I'm staying for the Joe. Hashtag Qapla for life.
I've been monitoring your communications with Starfleet Command, Captain.
Qapla for life. Qapla for life to AOC's boobs. Thank you for that super chat. Chrono says Lisa is a screaming leftist. I know. Aberjam says 720p. That's very nearly 8 quid. Chrono says stimulating whatcast. Aberjam says simulcasting is probably the reason the video looks so bad. The video looks fine for me. Is it really looking bad on your setup? I mean, I'm watching it through the YouTube stream as if I was just another, viewer on YouTube, and it looks absolutely fine to me. Cooperman says, wow, everywhere you must be famous. Aberjam says it's like an octopus, but dumber. Kronos says, wow, the UK is weird. Kronos would like to be a squid. Really? You want to be a squid? I highly doubt that. Let's see. Kronos says, oh, running zombie. Ex-zombie? I don't know. Live with Matters is Bird of Prey. Use Restream.io to merge chats. You can do it for free. Yeah, I just don't want to. It's not that I can't. I just don't want to. And certainly not right now. Today was a test. It was a test of the video, not the chats. Chrono says yay. And says yay, Zool. And Chrono says, I'm not a member. No, you're not a channel member, Kronos. Speaking of channel membership, let's take this opportunity to do a little update on the channel. And I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's some terrible noise coming over from Sisso Prey, Mamo Prey speaking to. So in the past, for a couple of years now, I've not advertised. In the beginning, I used to advertise. A long time ago, I stopped advertising it. But in addition to the YouTube memberships, we've also I've also had the honor of people subscribing to me monthly via Subscribestar. Subscribestar is a lot like Patreon, but it's not Patreon. I had a little bit more, freedom on Subscribestar. Unfortunately, for the good of the needs of the many kind of situation, the vast majority of channel membership now comes through YouTube channel memberships, the YouTube join button. And in fact, up until a few days ago, there were only 4 people left on Subscribestar. And then maybe a week ago, a 5th person, and Sisso Prey donated $1, but I doubt it's Sisso Prey. Says, stop telling them that there's a horrible noise coming my way. I did not fart. Yeah, that wasn't what I was, wasn't the noise. I have no idea who's pretending to be her. Nothing. Don't worry about it, please. Okay. Anyway, so basically Subscribestar's going away. Most people, the vast majority of people who support the channel do so via YouTube join button. And there's 4 people, 5 people that are still subscribed via Subscribestar. And while I greatly appreciate that, tomorrow's live stream is going to be the last live stream you will have access to if you continue to subscribe via Subscribestar. Now, I tried to delete my account, but I can't. I can't delete my Subscribestar account, and I can't stop people from being subscribers on Subscribestar. You guys who are subscribed via Subscribestar have to cancel. I can't make you cancel. So, I mean, if anybody wants to keep giving at Subscribestar, I mean, I can't force you to stop. But unfortunately, after tomorrow, there will be no more combined events. The problem is I can't do a true members only stream if I allow people from Subscribestar to connect to it. So what I've been doing for the past few months is doing an unlisted live stream and sending the link to Subscribestar and to my channel members. Now, I believe the fact that it's an unlisted live stream is the reason that a lot of the channel members are not getting the correct notification about the stream. The only way to fix that is to make it an actual members live stream from the drop-down box. And the only way to do that would prevent Subscribestar viewers from being able to view that type of stream. So for that reason, if you're currently giving at Subscribestar, I would ask that you stop and consider giving via YouTube join button instead. So you're going to ask, well, don't you get more money via Subscribestar than YouTube? And the general answer is yes, if you're giving $2.50 or more. That's basically the cutoff point. And most of the people currently on Subscribestar are at or below that threshold. One person is at the $5 threshold, and yes, technically I get more money from Subscribestar than I do from YouTube, but it's negligible and it's just not worth the fact that I can't do native YouTube members only streams. Now, what I have done, now it still needs to be approved by YouTube, but I did go to YouTube and I created a new category that is cheaper than the Friends of Caroga category. I created a Carogan Orphan category for $2.99 a month. So if you can't swing the $4.99, but you still would like to support the channel for $2.99, you can become a Carogan Orphan, and you will still get access to the emojis and the membership badge, and you will get access to occasional live streams for all members. Those will be the perks. Then people who are Friends of Caroga, which is the current bottom tier, will get all those perks plus occasional extra videos. You guys know I've put up videos that I've not uploaded from elsewhere. Usually those are videos that were, unedited videos or videos that I decided not to upload, or I messed up somewhere, so I re-uploaded, I redid the script. Whatever the reason, those videos just never went public, but I had the content, so I uploaded it for you guys. Then there'll be the Carogan Citizen and the Carogan Governor, just like we have now. And then just for poops and giggles, I went ahead and made a Carogan royalty, I believe, option. And again, I don't expect anyone to ever purchase this level. It's the maximum level YouTube allows, the $99.99 monthly fee. And I honestly don't expect anyone to ever purchase it. But if somebody did, the perk on that level is that you can get up to one movie a month you can choose for Cinema Saturday. Now it still has to follow the rules of Cinema Saturday. It's got to be at least 10 years old. It's got to, it can't be X-rated or something. It's got to, you could do Crystal Skull, but we're not going to do the same movie week after week or even month after month. So it's got to have there's some restrictions, okay? So you can't get that and just say we're going to do Barbie, because I'm telling you, we're never going to do the Barbie movies. Okay, so if you're even considering that, contact me first with the movie before you do it, and because there's just some things we're not going to do. We're not going to get too crazy, but if you really have some movies you want to suggest, and you want to spend $100, then go ahead and do it. It's more of a joke. I don't expect anyone to actually do it, but I had to put some perk down. And Berto Prey 5 donated $1 and said, for Carogan royalty, you will get my nudes and OnlyFans account for free. That is not something I wrote, but if $100 is $100. So if you're interested in nudes or something, I guess you should message me first. So those are the changes. The channel changes are that Subscribestar, I ask you guys, now if you want to keep donating, you're welcome to, but I ask you to please stop donating via Subscribestar. My goal is to ultimately close the Subscribestar completely. If you would like to, head over to YouTube Join. There's going to be a new cheaper category and a new more expensive category. And finally, I also created a new community on locals.com. So we have bertoprey5.locals.com. There's not much there yet. There's just a single post. Honestly, I'm really not 100% sure how locals.com works yet, but I figured I might as well claim my name while it was available. So I did go ahead and create the Berto Prey 5 community at locals.com. So if anybody, I know it's getting popular with certain creators. So if you are interested in joining the Berto Prey 5 community at locals.com, you can also find me there as of 11 a.m. this morning. So yeah, those are the channel updates. 54.5 Access Radio says, "Hail to Zool. Professor Brainy Specs is begging for help. John DeMarco is sending dolphins to help the professor. Kronos is saying rest in peace to Jeff. Kronos is lolling, and he's going to L now, says Kronos. Kronos says, no bird, don't feed et. Don't feed et. I don't know what that means. Commodore Ty, Qapla Commodore Ty says, hello all, hello Commodore. Aberjam says, get a load, fancy schmancy bird at his La Dida Yacht Club. No, Dado Praise Yacht Club was not a fancy schmancy La Dida Yacht Club. Believe me, it was, oh my God. I don't think you could get more blue collar. You couldn't get more blue collar than that place. It was built in, they had those temporary buildings they had put up after World War II. A what hut? A Quonset hut, according to Mamo Pray. Not a Kwanzaa hut, a Quonset hut. That was like the party room. It was basically like a Knights of Columbus, but without the international Knights of Columbus part. It was a local fraternal organization for boaters, who had, most of them who had boats, but Dado Prey would go there to play poker most of the time, at least for the last 10 or 15 years. He was involved there for a long time. No, Kronos, not rich. When Dado Prey came to live with me, he was a member of the yacht club for decades, and Dado Prey was like, he wanted to get a boat. I was making some money, so I got it. I got it. Hello.
This is Susie calling with the vehicle service.
Fucking Susie. Anyway, I had high hopes for that call. So Dado Prey's like, oh, we should get a boat. There's a guy selling his boat. He's like, it's like at least a $10,000 boat, but I think we can get it for $6,000 or $5,000 or something. So, okay, whatever. We'll buy a boat. I was going to make Dado Prey happy. I had the money. So we bought the boat. Now, for me to take it out, I had to technically become a member of the boat club too, which then meant I had to pay yearly dues, which was more money. I was like, okay, fine. So we both became members of the boat club. I never once ended up taking out the boat alone, but whatever. We had a couple of fun times. I told you guys the story of the 4th of July, where Dado Prey was, 4th of July is amateur night on the water. It is not the day to take out a boat if you're not an experienced boater. And, I mean, Dado Prey was, so but he was following a line on the GPS, and I was looking over to the side. I'm like, wow, we never get this close to shore in the daytime, and it's pitch black at night now. I'm like, this is really fun. Just part of my brain. Part of my brain is like, I can see into people's houses. I was like, we never get this close during the day. I wonder why we can get this close at night. And I turn around and I look straight ahead, and there was this wall of rocks, a jetty, that we are headed for. I wouldn't say it's full speed, but at pretty good speed. And I'm like, oh no, stop the boat, stop the boat. I got friends on there who were afraid for their lives. We were laughing at them for wanting to wear life jackets. And I'm like, no, stop the boat, stop. Dado Prey cuts the engines. I reverse. I go up there. I go running up. I'm like, what's going on? Like, don't you see the rocks? He couldn't. He had, whatever he had, glaucoma or what is it? Cataracts. He had cataracts. He couldn't. He could barely see. I had no idea it was that bad. Yeah, he didn't either. Anyway, we hit the rocks. It scratched up the boat, something terrible. I thought we were going down. I told my friends to put their life. I said, now you put your life jackets on. We kept checking under the boat for water to come in. There was no way. I couldn't imagine. We hit the rock so hard. I was sure we cracked the hull, but we made it back home. It took us like 5 hours, literally 4 to 5 hours, for what took us maybe 20 minutes to get out to. Took us 5 hours to get back because we had to go so slow, because if we put the propeller at like anything above like 100 RPMs, the boat would shake itself apart. When we finally got the boat out of the water, the propellers were ruined, the thing, everything was ruined. How we made it, it was by grace of God. God only knows. Had I not turned around when I did and saw that jetty, oh, I can't imagine what would have happened. But I asked Dad, what are you doing? And he was like, he said he was just following the line that we'd made. It was a GPS, so there was a line we made on our way out. And he said he was following the line back. He said, what? I'm following the line back. So I look at the map, and he puts his finger on the map. He's like, look, I'm just following the line back. I was like, Dad, that's not the line back. That's the coastline. He was following the coastline on the map, not the GPS line, which was like, 1,200 yards further out into the water. Like, oh my God. Needless to say, it was a night we'd never forget, but it was not the night we were expecting. So then there was a whole season the boat was out of commission. Unfortunately, after that, I got sick. Then that was another year after I got sick, plus, and then Dad O'Prey got sick. Long story short, Dad O'Prey ends up passing away. I can't walk. We try to sell the boat. That this boat was such a good investment. It had been redone. It had been fixed. It had been whatever. Apparently, when it was on dry dock and nobody was checking on it, raccoons moved in. Long story short, nobody would even buy the boat. Nobody even wanted to take the boat. I had to donate the boat to some charity who said, oh yeah, if we sell this boat, we'll send you how much we sell it for so you can deduct it from your taxes. Years later, I'd find the boat still for sale on a website, having not yet been sold. So yeah, there was only like a $500 tax deduction that we could take. The $5,000+ I thought I was going to recoup from this boat never happened. Apparently used boats are like used treadmills. Nobody wants them. Nobody wants them. Very, very rarely does anybody want a used boat. And then I guess we were the suckers. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, Emily Van Camp is Sharon Carter. Oh, well, she doesn't do much for me. Rock Solid says, Sharon Carter is almost as hot as Peggy Carter. I don't know who Peggy Carter is. Cronus says, Sony makes the PSs. Yeah, they did. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, the PS3 didn't have a stock wire controller. Sony never made one. The PS3 was wireless. You can use a DualShock via USB cable and it'll work just fine. Oh, well then that would explain why I couldn't find one. Kronos says, wow, I'll take your sound system. It's gone, Kronos. That we did find a buyer for. Aberjam says, Rock Solid wants to be filling in a Carter sandwich. Wants to be the filling in a Carter sandwich. And Rock Solid says, Aberjam, I wouldn't say no. # cuddle party. Chrono says lurking while streaming is really creepy, Bird of Prey. Do you need a vacuum? No, I've got one. Aberjam says Agent 47. Chrono says wow 47. What did 47 Yorktown say something? I missed it if they did. Chrono says lol, yay, Aussie, oh pray. Wait. We are way behind. Way behind. Say no to Aussie, oh pray. Okay, well. Chrono says time for his Geloja. Professor Brainy Specs says it's buffering. I hope you can just refresh. Rock Solid says someone call doctor. Clearly Bird is having a seizure. Yeah, 47 Yorktown says hashtag say no to Aussie O'Prey with a bunch of ruse emojis. Rock Solid says Bird of Prey, the intro is not the stream. The stream doesn't start till 4:02. Well then, considering I had a 4:05 start time, I'm still 3 minutes early. Aberjam just daxed himself. Good for you. Rock Solid, hashtag F the Cubs. Not Ryan Johnson says Bird of Prey, anyone who asks for Aussie O'Prey should be avoided and reported to the appropriate authorities. Wow. And then we got the super chat from AOC's boobs. Moxley fan, Qapla Moxley fan says Qapla Bird, hope you and the family are doing well. We're doing well enough, Moxley. Thank you for asking. Aberjam says, boobs. And Chrono says AOC is ugly. No. Roxanne says, Thomas Ponce, I'm not for emulation. It promotes piracy. So technically, Pittsburgh should be all about emulation because they're the Pittsburgh Pirates. I get it. I get it, Rock Solid. You made a joke. That's funny. Aberjam says AOC's crazy face is an exact doppelganger for Nicolas Cage's crazy face. Chrono says that's a sexy Enterprise, the NX-01. It is. It is a sexy ship. Thomas is rock solid. It's spelled Pittsburgh. Pirates are 2.5 games behind you and are ahead of the Cubs. Professor Brainy Specs is Bird of Prey. The stream looks as bad as always. Wow. That hurts. Roxas is Bird of Prey. It looks lower resolution. Like I said, closer to 480p than 720. Let me see if there's something I can do. Is there an option here? Camera, general. Okay, it's on 720p. It's on broadcast quality of 720p. Now it is down converting from 1080 to 720. So that could be part of the reason that it doesn't look as sharp as it normally does. You can also force it to 720p. I did play with the color lighting settings just to improve that somewhat, but everything I can see, that looks a lot better than it ever did. So I really don't think... wait a second. What the hell's going on here? Why is there 2 Garfields? Oh, shit. Nobody noticed the 2 Garfields? God damn it. I have the brand image in the top corner of StreamYard. I should have changed that from Garfield 1. I could put Sassy or an Enterprise. No. a Klingon, world flag, Gina Carano, Stargate, or just we could give some Frank Sinatra. I think the best thing is just take it away. We'll just take it away. I don't know how I missed that. I don't know how everybody else missed that. Thank you, I guess, for not complaining that there were 2 Garfields. Rock Solid says, Thomas Potts, 3, no one cares about the pirates. Kronos is Squids Inc. Bird of Prey face. Wow. Kronos says, I thought I paid you in the past. You might have, Kronos, but it might only last you might not have repaid. I don't know. I don't know. And oh my God, Rock Solid Productions upgraded his membership to Carogan Citizen. Qapla, Rock Solid Productions. You like me. You really like me. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I will update that as soon as the stream is over. Rock Solid's Bird of Prey hates my content, hates my channel, doesn't come to my premieres, yet I just upgraded my channel membership. Thank you, Rock Solid. I do try to come to your premieres. They're just honestly not at a time that's great for me. I'm usually busy. And the midday premieres, I'm usually busy and away from YouTube. And Chrono says, I don't pay via YouTube. No way. Sorry, Bird, you aren't getting paid. It's okay, Chronos. Nobody has to pay. I appreciate people just coming to the channel. Thomas Potts is Bird of Prey. Sorry, but I won't give Google any more money. That's fine, Thomas. I understand completely. You need not give YouTube any money. I understand. Thomas is Rock Solid because Bird is a secret Cubs fan. I am not a Cubs fan. And again, Rock Solid says F the Cubs. Kronos says birds can get smarter. Kronos says he likes cougars. And never mind that. John DeMarco says Bird of Prey. I prefer using Subscribestar, so I don't give YouTube any money. However, I'll cancel after the stream tomorrow so you can close down your account. Thank you, John. I understand you don't want to give YouTube money. It's just it's a needs of the many situation. We got 20 people who do use YouTube, and they would have probably a higher participation rate if I could use YouTube's built-in tubes for managing member streams. And I just can't do that if I have to do member streams across both Subscribestar and YouTube. And frankly, doing a separate member stream just for Subscribestar when there's only 4 or 5 people at Subscribestar isn't a worthwhile thing. So it's like, I don't want you guys to be left out of the member stream process, but there's really no way to do a member stream just for you guys. Rock Solid says Bird of Prey, just do a Patreon. It's a possibility, but I really have as much, for the most part, the same qualms I have against YouTube, I have against Patreon. So I don't know why I would open a Patreon. Whereas if I'm going to swallow my pride, I'd rather just swallow my pride and just support it through YouTube than to support Patreon. And again, I'll have the issue where I have to have either 2 separate streams or, split streams. Unfortunately, the way it is for right now, YouTube is looking like the best option. Thomas Bird of Prey. So if I don't stop on Subscribestar, you are stuck there. To be honest, yes, Thomas. And don't get me wrong. It's not the end of the world. If you guys want to keep giving money on Subscribestar, I'll happily take it. I will. I just am going to feel bad that we're not going to, you're not going to get invitations to future members' live streams. Because if there's no way to let you in, if there was a way to let you into a members only live stream, I would do it, but I can't. When you do a members only live stream, YouTube checks who's a member. And if you're not a member, the link doesn't work. You get redirected to the membership list link. So that's the problem. But yeah, if you want to keep sending money, you can. Nothing, it won't stop. Thomas's bird is a Google shill. Too much information, says Thomas. John DeMarcos is paying to be a Carogan orphan. What a pitch. Well, I had to find something that was recognizably Carogan, but was of lower status than a friend of Caroga. And all I could think of was a Carogan orphan. And Kronos says, no, the mines again. Not the mines again. Son of a bitch. Jedi Bill, Qapla Jedi Bill says, hello, Bird of Prey, Qapla, brother warrior. Hail, Caroga. Hail to you, Jedi Bill. Hope you're doing well. Hope your enterprise, your snap together enterprise is almost done. And your Eagle Moss Bird of Prey continues to inspire. And that poor Eagle Moss JJ enterprise is put on the back shelf out of view of everybody. Streamlabs. Streamlabs, I don't need to read Streamlabs chats. Chrono says, I like soft. No, I'm not going to read that. Chrono says, you can do a doll, apparently. William Devine says, Inner Space. Inner Space will be put on the short list, William. Thomas says, so pick any movies as long as you approve. No, I'm just saying you can't go completely batshit off the wall crazy with the movies like a Care Bear movie or Barbie. Like honestly, like the Barbie movies. I'm not going to watch the Barbie movies, okay? Nobody gives a shit about the Barbie movies except the one person who asked about them. So Anti-Tracker didn't mind taking that on, and more power to him. I'm not. So I'm going to tell you right now, whether you pay or not, I'm not watching the Barbie movie. Not on a main. Let's put it this way. Not on a main cinema sad day. Now, if you wanted to pay money and we would do it as a Bird of Prey 5X channel, I would do that all day long. Sure. If you want to pay money and you don't care, I put on Bird of Prey 5X. Yeah, I'll watch a movie for $50. I'll watch a movie probably for less, but it's not going to be a cinema sad day, and it's not going to be on the main channel. Because frankly, it will hurt the channel. Kronos is Bird of Prey. Just stop being a Tubian. What do you want me to become? A Twitch streamer? A Twitch tot? Kronos is Bird loves the tube. Rox Odds is Bird of Prey. DoingLocals.com is like the Carogan version of FarmersOnly.com. Honestly, I don't really know what Locals is all about. Light with Matthew says, Yitza, I was trying to do Odyssey, but can't figure their model out. I've got an account at Odyssey, I think, too, but Catman DD Myers is Qapla Bird of Prey. How are you and the family? Qapla DD, we're doing okay. The other thing I did today was update the names of several people in the credits and the opening credits. The thank yous that go across the top of the screen. I realized quite a few people changed their usernames, like Dee Dee Myers has changed to the Cat Man, aka Dee Dee Myers. Joseph Petrick became the Random Menace, and a couple other people changed their names. So those have all been updated to the correct version of their names as of today. And if you ever change your name in the future and you see I haven't updated it in the credits and it's an issue, please just message me. It's not something I usually think about. Life with Matthew says, I only see 3 membership levels. Yes, Life Matthew. YouTube's got to approve them, but they're coming. It'll probably take a day or 2 until YouTube approves them. There's going to be 2 new levels, a lower level and a higher level, but they're not available yet. Dee Dee Myers says, howdy to Kronos. Kronos says, hey to Bill again. William Devine says, Kwanzaa hut. It's just like, almost looks like an airplane hangar. Rounded roof that goes, like rounded on both sides, all the way to the ground. It's like if you took a giant pipe and cut it in half, and then you put a room under the pipe. That's what it would be. If the pipe was 100 feet long and 50 feet wide, and maybe 25 feet high at the center. Sounds like a kinky hut, says Kronos. No. Actresses, did I miss the Stowaway review? No, you did not. So let's get to Stowaway. I saw yesterday this movie.
Could take weeks, sir.
The Random Menace donated €2 through Super Chat. Random Menace's greetings from the future. My chip is working. Qapla, the Random Menace. Random Menace, I hope you're feeling somewhat better yet. I saw your post on Facebook, which Facebook attempted to translate for me. I think I got the gist of it. I'm sorry you were so sick after getting your COVID vaccination. I do hope you're feeling better. So I think you are, obviously. If you're here, you have to be feeling somewhat better. So Stowaway. So I knew nothing about this movie until yesterday. I was on Netflix and I happened to see Netflix said, oh, number 2 trending in the USA today is Stowaway. And it's got a rocket and it's got astronauts. I go, a space movie. And I was like, it's probably just Netflix garbage space movie. I was like, I'll watch it when I get the time. Then yesterday afternoon, I was going through YouTube channels, and one of the YouTube channels I check from time to time is a guy called Scott Manley. And let me tell you, I don't know if I've ever heard of a better name than Scott Manley. That's like max power level naming. Scott Manley here. And he's got quite a manly voice too. But Scott Manley does rockets and jet propulsion type videos and stuff like that. Real airplanes, real rockets, real science type stuff. He's got the Lego Saturn V and a bunch of other Legos in his background. He's a real cool guy. And he did a video on Stowaway because he was a consultant for the movie. So I started watching his video, and he's like, oh, but stop here if you don't want spoilers. So I was only like a minute and a half or 2 minutes into his video where I had to stop because I really didn't want spoilers for this movie. So I was like, well, now that I know Scott Manley is involved in Stowaway, and now I really want to see it. And so I started watching it this morning with Mama Pray. She was busy, but she was halfway watching. And I recognized Scott Manley's voice in the very beginning of the movie. There's they're talking with Houston all throughout the opening credits. They're just talking back and forth with Houston before liftoff. And Scott Manley has got a couple of lines. You recognize his voice instantly. Okay, cool. But then the movie actually happens. And I was like, oh my God. First off, it's a mission to Mars. It's not the first time we've gone to Mars. This is like the 20th mission to Mars or something. It's going to be a 2-year mission. I don't know. It's going to take quite a while to get there. They're going to spend some time. It's going to take quite a while to get home. The commander of the mission is a woman. Then there's 2 people on the mission who were selected for their science experiments, who is a younger woman and an Asian guy. Okay, so it's just 3 people on this rocket to Mars and back. And the Asian guy, who's a big, he's a pretty tall, strong-looking Asian dude, for whatever reason, displayed as weak as anything. So weak that the little girl, let's say little girl, she's 20-something-year-old, younger woman, but 20-something-year-old woman who's probably the same age as the Asian guy. She literally has to help him carry his bags. He's carrying bags and he can't do it. She's like, oh, I'll help you, and takes half of his bags at the very beginning of the movie. And already I'm like, oh my God. And then, of course, later in the movie, they have to do this big spacewalk. That's a very, very physically demanding spacewalk. And he can't, he's like, oh, I need a break. And she's like good to go. She's so much better at spacewalking than he is. She's stronger than he is, even though she's, physically not. She's no Gina Carano. Let's put it that way. She is no Gina Carano. She doesn't appear that physical, I have no reason to think that she does any type of weight training or any type of special exercises that would give her any physical advantage over an average man. But she outperforms the one man on the mission in every conceivable way. And John Iraqi with a $1 super chat. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. So you're like, well, you know where this is going to go. So then they take off. They're on their way to Mars. And the commander or somebody is looking at one of the rooms in the rocket. And there's blood on the floor. And so she takes out like a cordless drill and, unscrews a panel on the ceiling, and they've got artificial gravity. They're rotating, so they have artificial gravity. And a dude just drops out of the ceiling. A full-grown adult dude just drops out of the ceiling. He looks like he's even in half a spacesuit. I don't understand why he'd be in a spacesuit. But he falls out of the ceiling onto her. And she's like, help, get him off me. And like 2 people come running in and they take him off. And he's hurt. He's hurt really bad. You don't know who he is. You don't know anything about him. He's not conscious. He's bleeding profusely. And so they take him into the woman, the young woman who's seems to be the strongest person on the rocket. She's also a medical doctor. So it's literally her job to keep everyone healthy. So they take him to sick bay, and she puts stitches in him and whatever. And they're like, is he going to live? And she's like, I'm surprised he's still alive. So you don't know what's going to happen. You find out the guy was an engineer working on the ship, and like not exactly sure how it happened, if there was a charge or something. He fell, but somehow he fell into the roof and nobody noticed he was missing. And they launched the rocket with him in there. Now, when they launched, they thought the engine wasn't performing as well because it was a little too much weight, but then it explains why the engine seemed to be underperforming. It was because it had an extra 180 pounds or something on the rocket. Anyway, long story short, they're fucked because now they've got 4 people on a rocket that was only meant to have provisions for 3 people for a 2-year mission. And they can deal with the food and the water, but the oxygen and the CO2 is a problem because where he happened to fall was their main CO2 scrubber. And basically, him being in this rocket destroyed their main CO2 scrubber / oxygen generator. So they're not going to have enough air to reach Mars. So what does the commander do? Does the commander say, well, we've got to send him out into space? No. Does the commander say, oh my God, one of us has to die so 3 of us can live? And the commander say, no, we're not going to draw straws. I'm going to sacrifice myself because it's my job to make sure the crew can complete their mission. And for reasons, they can't turn around. They made this whole mission with 0 way to turn around. Even though they were only 12 hours into the flight, they were beyond the point of turning around. They have to go the full 2 years or whatever year to Mars and before they can turn around. So there's no if, ands, or buts about it. So they're going. Basically, it takes like a month before they realize they're not going to have enough oxygen to make it to Mars. So everybody's already kind of bonded. Meanwhile, this one woman is particularly, the best at everything. And they're like, so the commander tells, listen, we got to tell this guy he's got to die. There's not enough oxygen on board. They try everything. The Asian guy gives up all of his research because he was bringing algae to Mars in an attempt to grow their own oxygen on Mars. So they're like, well, so the commander, thank you, John Iraqi, for another $1 super chat. So the commander goes to this Asian guy and says, isn't your experiment about making oxygen? And he's like, yeah. She's like, well, we need to start it now. And he's like, no, if we start it now, I'll have nothing to use on Mars. I've spent my entire life working for this. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. He didn't want to do it. She convinces him that we have to do it. So he uses half of his stash, and it's working well. And he's getting like 550 megabars of oxygen or something. Now he needs to get 1,000. And NB Geeks Let's Talk has renewed for a 2nd month in a row his membership. Thank you so much, NB Geeks. Greatly appreciated. Anyway, so they only are getting half the extra oxygen they need to get from this algae. So the commander forces the guy to use all of his algae. Unfortunately, the second batch doesn't take. And so they're like, shit, well, we got to have this guy kill himself or die. Now, nobody's telling him yet that they're not going to make it. So the Asian guy says, listen, guy, man to man, you deserve to know. You're putting this whole mission at risk. We don't have enough oxygen. There's no way you're going to make it. We either are all going to die or you've got to kill yourself. And he sneaks into the med bay and takes some medication, and he gives it to him, a hypo spray. And it says, listen, just take this. You'll go to sleep. You'll never wake up. Of course, the guy doesn't take it because he doesn't want to kill himself. Then the commander gets pissed that he knows what's happening. And the woman, who's good at everything, says, oh, but what about the oxygen in our fuel tank? But apparently, to get the oxygen in the fuel tank, you've got to do a very risky spacewalk to the other side of the rocket. And for some reason, they don't even know if there's enough oxygen in the tank, because I guess it's the one place on the ship they don't have a valve to tell how much oxygen is left. So they decide, first the commander's like, no, it's too risky. And then they're like, then they get screwed because the other half of the algae dies. So now they don't even have enough algae even for 3 of them to make it to Mars. 2 of them are going to have to die for them to make it to Mars at this point. So then they're like, well, they don't have any hope left. So they go to get the oxygen. Now they have 2 extra tanks they can fill. If they can bring back 2 extra tanks of oxygen, then all 4 of them can make it to Mars. If they only can bring back 1 tank of oxygen, 3 of them can make it to Mars. And if they can't bring back any oxygen, no one can make it to Mars. Or only 2 can make it to Mars. So the Asian guy and the doctor both go because the other guy has no space training. He's trying to help the best he can, but he has no formal training in space. He was an engineer on the ground. He has no real experience for the mission. So although he volunteered to do grunt work, he can't do spacewalks and stuff. So the Asian guy and the doctor girl go to the other side of the rocket. Of course, the Asian guy keeps having to slow down and catch his breath. The young woman is being held back by him. They make it to the other side. The Asian guy stays at the top of the booster. The young woman goes down further. She opens the door to the rocket, and the door just goes flying off into space, but they don't need it. She goes into the rocket. She punctures the air tank. She puts a valve on it. Okay, there's plenty of oxygen. So she's filling the first tank. Good. She starts filling the second tank. An alarm starts going off. There's a solar flare incoming. They've got 20 minutes. 20 minutes, and it's going to take them like a full 20 minutes. It took them like 30 minutes to get where they were. So they've got to double time it back. They've got to leave one of the oxygen tanks behind. If they're lucky, they can come get it after the storm. So they rush back. And of course, you see the Asian guy slowing her down. He disconnects from her and says, you just go, I'll be behind you, you go. So she goes with the oxygen tank, and she gets to the other side of the ship. She gets to the other side of the ship, and she drops the oxygen tank. And because of the artificial gravity, it means the tank just flies away from the ship. They can never reach it. So now they're all effed. There's only 1 tank left. Nobody has a chance to get it before the storm. And they go inside with no extra oxygen. And they realize they're just about doomed. The other tank, for whatever reason, it was leaking. So they can't wait. The storm could take hours. They don't know how long the storm is going to take. It could take hours to pass. So the only way to get the oxygen so that at least 3 of them can survive is to somebody to go back outside during the solar storm. They're going to get full of radiation poisoning, but like like in Star Trek 3, somebody's got to get the radiation. They got to go through the radiation, get that last canister of oxygen, hope it's full, and bring it back. So the Asian guy and the doctor girl are debating. The Asian guy says, I'll do it. And of course, the other girl says, no, I'll do it. And to be honest, everybody knows she should do it because she's so much better than the Asian guy at spacewalking and all this stuff. So they let her go, and she makes it to the other side, and there's enough oxygen. And meanwhile, she's seeing the radiation affect her, and there's colors everywhere because the radiation is in her eyes and whatnot. She makes it to the other side. She drops the oxygen down, and now the 3 people on the ship have the oxygen they need to make it back home, make it to Mars and home again. So she dies, presumably of radiation poisoning or just probably asphyxiation, because they knew it was a death sentence to go ahead and get the oxygen. And that's it. End of movie. You never see him get to Mars. You never see him get home. You never see what the fallout is. The movie ends with the young girl giving the oxygen to the other 3 people, and that's it. We know nothing about her, nothing about her family life, nothing about her character. The guy who fell from the ceiling, we knew he had a disabled sister. He was her caregiver, and the company he worked for just hired a full-time caregiver for his sister because he couldn't come back. And it was really their fault that he was stuck in the ship. I mean, how the hell do you launch a ship if you haven't accounted for all your crew? I mean, it's beyond believable that any of this could have happened. But so yeah, and then honestly, the most annoying thing is besides the fact that, every opportunity, the women were smarter and physically stronger than the men. Okay? Which, it could happen here and there. But what a terrible, terrible, awful commander of a mission. Could you imagine any Star Trek captain, Kirk, Picard, Cisco, Janeway, or Archer, if any of them were in command of a mission and they're like, one of us has to die so the rest of the crew can live, every single one of them would step up and say, I'll do it. You guys go on. Every single one of them. No, not here. In this, the commander is the cow. She doesn't offer to do anything. She doesn't offer to do anything that puts her in harm's way. She's like the one who has to be the safe no matter what. Every other person on the ship, even the Asian dude, offers to do something to put themselves in harm's way, except the commander of the mission, the one I would expect to take the boat, the one whose job it is to get everyone home safely. They're the one person who doesn't step up and say, I'll do it. I'll step out the airlock. I'll be the one who sacrifices so that you guys can make it home. It is, not only is it terrible writing, it's a terrible message. It's not what I like. This isn't, if I was commander of the mission and there was only oxygen enough for 3 and we got a 4th person who got on board through no fault of their own, understand, we know it was no fault of his own. Then I'm the guy. I would be like, well, fuck. You guys have a good trip. give me that hypo spray, and you know, I guess eat my body last. I don't know what else to say, but that's how it would go. Because it would be my responsibility to make them sure they could get home okay. And if that means I have to die so the rest of them can make it, that's the job I would have signed up for. Not this lady. Nope. She was only too quick anybody else volunteered, she would have taken it. Had the guy that fell from the ceiling, she wanted him to die to begin with. She was ready to throw him out the airlock in the middle of the night. The Asian guy, yeah, she's like, he could die. We really don't need him. His research was destroyed anyway in a futile attempt to save our lives, so he doesn't need to be here. And then the doctor woman, who you would think might be the most important person on the ship to have, is actually a medical doctor, despite her being also the bestest at everything. To actually have a medical doctor, and like, maybe we should keep her. No, she wants to go out and do this. We'll let her go out and do this. The one person who was expendable, the commander, no, she's protected. Nobody even asks her or looks at her or says, you know what, maybe you should go, Commander. No, nobody even brings it up. Maybe that's not how the real world works, but God damn it, a lifetime of watching sci-fi, and I expect more from commanders and captains of missions. So no, Stowaway, it sucks. Okay, you don't waste your time watching Stowaway. First off, I just gave it all away, so I'm sorry if you didn't want spoilers. Second of all, if you do want to watch something with some sort of quality to it, based in space, for the love of God, please just get Apple TV, use your free trial, or pay the $5 for a single month and watch For All Mankind. The second season just wrapped up, and yes, the second season got woke, but it's still a great series, okay? For All Mankind, season 1 is damn near perfect. Season 2, not as good, but god damn it, it flirts with greatness. And I would much rather watch a woke series. It's not completely woke, but a woke series that at least flirts with greatness than this dribble that Netflix just, I don't know, they just give out money, and it's like the same effing thing every effing time on Netflix. Every time there's a space thing on Netflix, Another Life or Stowaway or whatever, if Greenland, whatever it is, every effing time, it's the same story over and over and over. Well, Greenland wasn't terrible. I'm not sure if Greenland wasn't Netflix. I don't think so. But there was something else on Netflix. Another Life, there was something else. They're all the same. They're all woke garbage, and they're all not worth your time. Every effing time. Yeah, so stay away. I guess Netflix, they got to do something with their money. Come on, big money. LaGrange, Nephew O'Prey donated $1. Can we do Dear Bop before I'm older than Anti-Tracker? Nephew O'Prey and Happy Baby. Yes. Give me a minute. Let's get to Dear Bops. Let me just read the app Bird O'Prey 5s. Jedi Bill again says, hello, Bird O'Prey. Qapla, Brother Warrior. Kronos says, Bird O'Prey has a boot. Rock Solid says, is Bird O'Prey an experienced motor boater? I may have had some experience motorboating. Kronos says, wow, bird of prey, you're a creepy lurker on a rich boat. It wasn't a rich boat. Rockside says, bird of prey, was it like when they crashed the boat in on Golden Pond? I don't know what Golden Pond is. Kronos says, you saw crack. I saw a crack in the boat. Jedi Bill says, hello, bird of prey. Hail Caroga, Jedi Bill. Moxley fans says, bird of prey, what's the name of your community on locals? Birdo Prey 5. Everything is Birdo Prey 5. Birdo Prey 5, that's a lowercase o, not the number 0. birdoprey5.locals.com. I'm also Birdo Prey 5 on locals. Everything is Birdo Prey 5. Rock Solid wants the Dear Bops. I know you guys do. I gotta just read the at Birdo Prey 5s. Oh my god. I think we lost a bunch of chats. Moxley fans is Bird of Prey, Garfield, and Friends. I used to watch it. Actors is Bird of Prey. Can I complain that the yellow flashing lights on the corner are too distracting? You can complain, Hector. Mr. Miles went through a lot of trouble to make those flash. Actors is Bird of Prey. I press an imaginary brake under my desk every time the lights flash. Cronus is Bird of Prey, likes taking the tube. Wesley Crusher says, Qapla. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, greetings everyone. Off to work I go. Enjoy your time at work, Wes. Qapla. Todd, Jenny, a.k.a. T-Berg. I see you're in the house. Waving to geeks enjoy Nerdrotica. Professor Brainy Specs says, just don't cross the streams, Bird of Prey. Moxley fans is Bird of Prey. Start an OnlyFans. No, I'm kidding. Rockside is Bird of Prey. You should do a $1 tier. That's a Kurdistani refugee. That's not a bad idea. Professor Brainy Specs says, how about an acquaintances of Caroga? We already have friends of Caroga. Chrono says, eagles with moss can make models. Yes. Kronos is Bird of Prey. You censored me. I didn't censor anyone, Kronos. It might have been YouTube. Kronos is Bird of Prey. Just give it some time. There will be alternatives. Jedi Bill says, I am sorry, Bird of Prey. Please forgive me. I have internet issues. Forgive you for what, Jedi Bill? You didn't do anything wrong. Kronos says, can you still not link here? You can link. The links are working again. Best I can tell. Jedi Bill says, all Caroga, please forgive me. I am sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about, Jedi Bill. Unless you did something that I don't know about. Positive Candor says, did you ever watch season 2 finale? Yes, I did. And I just, I very the last couple episodes of For All Mankind definitely were an improvement to from the middle of the season. I don't want to give any spoilers for All Mankind because it's quality, unlike Stowaway, but I do recommend people watch it. Jedi Bill says, I am so sorry, Bird of Prey, Qapla, Brother Warrior, Hail Caroga, I am extremely sorry. Please forgive me, and everyone. Jedi Bill, nobody is blaming you for anything. Cronus says, wow, Bird of Prey, you're still in flicks. I am. Cronus says, yeah, don't be sorry. Random Menace says, Bird of Prey, the Facebook post was supposed to be funny. I hope it translated at least a few jokes. I don't know that it translated them jokes too well. Random Menace. Like Mamo Prey tells me, oh my God, did you see Yosef's post on Facebook? I was like, no. She was really afraid for you, Yosef. It got Mamo Prey really scared, really upset. She felt really bad. I was like, I don't think it's as bad as it sounds. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, Scott Manley is awesome. He is. Big fan of Scott Manley. Scott Manley here. I wish I could do Scott Manley's voice. Thomas Potts, a woman. Oh my God, it's woke. Thomas, trust me, it is woke. It's not just a woman. Thomas is Asian guy, even more woke. And Kronos is Bird of Prey ranting, kinda. Life with Masters Bird of Prey, be sure to remind us once the new join levels get approved. I don't forget to change subscribe star to YouTube. Oh, thank you, Life with Matthew. I'll let you know. It should be by the next stream. Hashtag free Apu, hashtag free Gina, hashtag pray for Auntie, all from John Araki. Thank you, John Araki. Captain Trek says greetings, Qapla, Captain Trek, 0001 Destruct. Thomas Bott says guest Dear Bop will be Friday. We're going to get to Dear Bop. Bird is story ranting. Wait, women know everything, apparently. Hashtag get your ass to Mars. John Araki says, do not read. Rock Solid says, I wish Bird of Prey 5 would double time to Dear Bop. I'm doing that now. Kronos says, wow, disconnecting, that's hot. And John Mouse says, Bird of Prey, spoiler machine. Yeah, there was a lot of spoilers. Sorry about that. Rock Solid says, it's a death sentence to watch a Bird of Prey stream while waiting to get to Dear Bop. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey blew me away. And Kronos says, Bird of Prey, you should get an Oscar. Jedi Bill says, hey, Bird of Prey, Dear Bop, Dear Bop. Yeah, okay, we're going to get there. We're going to get there soon. Kronos says, Bird of Prey, I didn't want to hear the spoilers. Well, too bad. Mako's in the house. Qapla Mako says, you have to have an Apple product. No, you do not. You do not need an Apple product to watch Apple TV. You can get the Apple TV app on an Amazon Fire TV, an Amazon Fire TV stick, or an Amazon Fire TV. You can get the Apple TV app on Roku. You can get an Apple TV app from the Google Play Store. You can just go to Apple. You can just go to tv.apple.com and watch Apple TV in your web browser. You do not need an Apple device to have Apple TV. And thank you, Aravic Sonder, for the $2 super chat. And we got Kissing Dax. And he said, Monday's almost over. Thank Bert. We still got plenty of time for Dear Bop. We still got plenty of time. But yeah, you don't need Apple device to watch Apple TV. Unfortunately, if For All Mankind was on Netflix, it would be as big a show as any other. It would be up there with The Expanse. It would be up there with Battlestar Galactica. It would be a big time show. The fact that it's trapped on Apple TV is the biggest problem for All Mankind. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, you've never heard of Golden Pond? Early 80s movie with Henry and Jane Fonda, along with Katharine Hepburn. No, I never have. Mamo Prey has. Professor Brainy Specs says, Bird of Prey, an acquaintance is not a friend. It's close. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, that Michael Dorn stuff he put on Twitter was just for the Star Trek Legends game. So, meh. Oh, that sucks. Although, on the other hand, it also means that Alex Kurtzman is not going to get to ruin Worf. So, maybe it's a good thing. Professor Brainy Spec says, Kronos, no, links are not working. But they are working. They still work. That link is still there. Yitza says, do you have a raw and an oh no moment in the finale? For All Mankind? Yeah, there were a lot of moments. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, are you looking forward to upcoming Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi show? No, I am not. I might watch it, but I'm not looking forward to it. The Random Menace is Bird of Prey. On your next open lines, I will attempt to translate the post. It was meant as a funny story about my experience in Slavic vaccination group. It has over 800 likes. Okay, Mamo Prey. What Yosef posted was all a joke. It was not supposed to be taken seriously. So don't. I told him you were very worried. He said no, it didn't translate well. It was a joke. It's got over 800 likes in his Slovakian vaccination group. Yeah, you got Mamo Prey worried, Yosef. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, what do you want for the 4th Stargate show if it ever gets made? I want to see the world post-revelation of the Stargate. A Stargate, an Earth where they know the Stargate's real, where people know the Stargate is a thing and other worlds are a thing. Thomas Botts is Bird of Prey. Bye, I have to go. I'll miss another Dear Bop. I am so sorry, Thomas. I am so sorry. You can always fast forward to the Dear Bop section if you get a chance. Kronos is Bird of Prey. Please wrench pots just for meh. No, Thomas doesn't want the wrench. That's why he doesn't have it. That's why he doesn't have it. Okay. I'm going to just do a quick commercial and then we will start with the Dear Bops. Be right back.
One Day at a Time has moved. The craziest cast of characters in some of their zaniest adventures ever. Now come to you in the morning at a brand new time. Anything goes, and it usually does. So be sure to watch us, because it all happens one day at a time. Now at 10 Eastern, 9 Central and Pacific.
Tap for a beautiful drink. Tap for beautiful people. Tap, you're beautiful to me. Real cola tastes just 1 calorie. Tap, what a beautiful drink. Tap for beautiful people. Tap, it's beautiful to be so good and sugar-free. Tap.
The Computer Factory wants you to get the competitive edge with the Apple rebate sale. Purchase a qualifying Apple system now and get cash back. Buy the Apple IIgs for only $549 after Apple rebate, or the Apple IIc for only $549 after rebate, or the powerful Macintosh Plus for only $1,449 after Apple rebate. Hurry in to your nearest Computer Factory store for their lowest prices of the year on Apple. Plenty of stock on hand at all Computer Factory locations.
Do it up at the Gap.
Get that do it up feeling. Do it up.
Two great names in jeans do it up in style. With an exciting fall collection of denim and corduroy jeans in a rainbow of colors. Gloria Vanderbilt by Mershani and The Gap bring you the fit that stops traffic wherever you go.
Fall into the Gap.
Have a Gloria Vanderbilt fit at The Gap.
Break free and feel. Feel how splendid you are with the fragrance created by Gloria Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, a rich, expressive fragrance that reveals to the world just how splendid you are. Vanderbilt, let it release the splendor of you. Vanderbilt.
If doing things different is your style, Genesee Cream Ale is your brew.
Ever since we got a wood stove, I've got the lowest heating bill around.
Yeah, and the biggest thirst.
Next time that you're thirsty, make Jenny Cream your brew. The taste is something different. It's smoother drinking too.
I like it, 'cause there's nothing like it.
It's different.
Genesee Cream Ale.
I've been playing daughter roles for so long that people forget I'm grown up with kids of my own. I'm certainly grown up enough to know that soap can dry out your face, so I wash with Noxema skin cream every day. Noxema makes my face feel really clean. It doesn't dry, puts moisture in, makes my skin feel soft, younger looking. I've been washing with Noxema for a long time now, and, well, so far so good.
Good skin starts with Noxema every day. Greaseless, medicated Noxema skin cream.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about those commercials. For some reason, the audio was popping out in the middle of it. So we are now going to head over to the Dear Bop section. I know everybody's been waiting for it. Everybody wants Dear Bop. Oh, there we go. Dear Bop. John Street says, Bird of Prey, who is getting the boot when New York loses a House seat in the 22 election cycle? Or are they going to give the boot to one of your wives, AOC? I highly doubt AOC gets the boot, but I certainly wouldn't mind if she did. Then she'd have more time to spend with me. Or she could go back to being a bartender. Either way. Either way. What is Dear Bop, Kronos? You know what Dear Bop is. Okay. Let's see. Oh, wow. We've got 23 plus Dear Bops. Let's see what's going on here. Warner Group's music management blocked. What did they do? What did Warner do? What video did they block? Matching content notice. What? Warner says that my video matches 1 minute and 15 seconds. They're talking about this video right now. Facebook blocked this video. It's not even over yet. Fucking for whatever reason, Facebook is far worse than YouTube or Twitch in blocking videos. Almost every video I've ever put up on Facebook eventually gets a notice saying it's been blocked. Now, usually I don't care because it's like a week or two later and I delete it anyway. But I've never had a live video blocked while I was streaming before from Facebook. Plus, the only music I could imagine is if it was from one of the commercials. All other audio I have access to in here. It's all mine. Or licensed. Yeah, fucking Facebook. John Street says, Bird of Prey, you talked about AOC on Facebook. That's enough to get it blocked. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so Dear Bop. Dear Bop, I have a hairy shaft, and I just found out on Sunday that that's not normal. Any advice on what to do, please? Who says it's not normal? I'm sorry. I don't like when my phone starts making noises I can't identify. Yes. Okay. Nothing. Okay, I apologize. Yeah, if you got some, hair on the shaft, that's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. If you got to get rid of it, I suggest plucking one at a time with a tweezer. That's the best way. Definitely. You don't want to risk anything else. Yeah, I'm going to answer, Josh Street. I answer every question. Oh shit, you see, this is the problem. Dear Bop, I tried to shave my shaft and I cut it and it won't stop bleeding. What should I do? Please respond ASAP. Well, you should have used the tweezer. You should have waited 2 minutes and used the tweezer, and you wouldn't have had this problem. But at this point, crazy glue. Crazy glue that up. It'll stop the bleeding. Use a little masking tape to cover the crazy glue. That should do it. Once the crazy glue hardens, you'll be all set. Give it a few days before you put any stress on it. Yeah, it's gonna burn. It's gonna burn, but the burning means it's working. Dear Bop, I lost the tip. Well, you know, if you can't find it, so be it. That's the great thing about the tip. If you lose the tip, whatever's below the tip becomes the new tip. You're never without a tip. The tip doesn't die, it just moves. And yes, I did stop answering Frank and Freddy Dear Bops. This is true, Josh Street. Dear Bop, The Conjuring is one of the scariest movies of our time. Someone even said these movies, The Conjuring and Conjuring 2, are the scariest movies since The Exorcist. Do you like horror movies? No, I do not. Who's ready for The Conjuring? The devil made me do it. The third entry in the Conjuring series. I'm excited for this movie, Moxley Fan 21. As you guys know, I do not watch horror movies. So no. I have no interest in seeing any of the Conjuring. I've never seen The Exorcist. I've heard of it. I've seen scenes from The Exorcist. But those types of movies really freak me out. Not happening. That said, if you enjoy those movies, more power to you. They're just not for me. The Random Menace is The Tip Does Not Die is the best new title for a Bond movie. The Tip Doesn't Die, starring James Bond as 007. The Tip Never Dies. Dear Bop, I think Bop is boring, read stupid. You spend way too much time on it. Oh, I think Dear Bop is boring, read stupid. You spend way too much time on it. It's nothing but the same lame jokes over and over and over with odd music lyrics that is equally boring to listen to. I'm in the minority on this, so I know the chances you'll make any changes slim to none, but this whole email is pretty pointless. Never mind. I know, Dear Bop isn't everyone's bag. That's why we generally leave it towards the end of the stream. So if you really don't like Dear Bop, and you can feel free to find something else you prefer on YouTube. I still like Dear Bop. Occasionally there's gems. I'll grant you most of it is filler. It seems like a lot of people don't take it as seriously as I had hoped. Now, did I honestly think it was going to be like serious requests for help all the time? No, I didn't. But did I think it was going to be so often just nonsense? No, I didn't think that either. I had high hopes that we would get 1, 2, or 3 actual requests for some type of advice, even if it wasn't earth-shattering, even if it wasn't the most important advice on the planet. I thought we would get actual requests for advice, and we do sometimes do. And so I will continue to do the Dear Bops. I will do my best to skip over the ones that are actual just nonsense. But yeah, I understand. Dear Bops aren't for everyone, but listen, look, you saw this stream. There were a hell of a lot more people asking to see the Dear Bops than people saying skip the Dear Bops. That said, if you really don't like Dear Bop, let me know in the chat, and this way I can have some idea over if it's one person saying it 15 times or 15 people saying it once, whether you like or don't like Dear Bop. Yitza says, I'll write a Dear Bop when I figure out a way for no one to know it's me. Well, no one knows it's you unless you say it's you. Kronos says, Bird of Prey, you need to see more horror movies. Not going to happen. Kronos says, it was worth waiting for this. And Josh reads, Bird of Prey, can you go back to the Dear Bop? Can you go back to Dear Bop video? You want me to just do videos of separate Dear Bops? I mean, I could, but then that would have to be, that would probably be on the Bird of Prey X channel, because that is not enough to carry on the Bird of Prey channel. Dear Bob, where is Anti-Tracker? Peter, Anti-Tracker actually put out a YouTube video today. Shocked me, but he did an actual YouTube video today. He did his thoughts on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He uploaded it this morning. It was like 15 minutes long. Needless to say, I disagreed with the vast majority of it, but I was happy to see him putting up a video again. Yeah, so he did post a video today. So if you didn't get it, make sure you're still subscribed. And Dear Bop, who is the Anti-Tracker, says Tony. Well, guys, I'm sure you know who Anti-Tracker is. He is the one through which most of us came to this community or found this community. Not everyone, but many of us. I found it through Lore Reloaded, then Anti-Tracker, and then I kind of started doing it myself. And I know a lot of people followed a similar route. So, and Anti-Tracker is having some of his own health issues these days, so I do wish him the best, even though when I go to his streams, he continuously makes fun of myself and Caroga. But that's okay. That's okay. And if you honestly don't know who he is, go to antitracker.com and you can find a link to his videos. Chrono says, you can watch horror movies. I can, but I choose not to. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, first was a discussion about how some people did like you playing Risk. Now it's not liking Dear Bop. Well, Risk is everybody has different opinions. It's fine. Risk isn't everybody's thing either. And Dear Bop, why is the Anti-Tracker from Drax the Destroyer? He just is. Dear Bop, the U.S. Census Bureau announced Monday the total population of the United States is over 331 million people. Following the census report, Texas will gain 2 seats, and Colorado, Florida, Montana, North Carolina, and Oregon will each gain 1 seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. New York, Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, California, and West Virginia each lost a seat ahead of the 2022 midterm elections. I gotta be honest, I'm happy. I am happy that New York, Illinois, California are losing seats. Happy to see Texas gaining 2, even though Texas is a very mixed state. It doesn't mean that they're going to be any specific color seat, but Texas gets it. Florida, Montana. Wow, Montana is impressive. North Carolina. A little sad Oregon is going to gain a seat, but whatever. Such is life. Democracy presses on. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I mean, at this point, it's like, what does it really matter? The Random Menace says, I love every minute of your content, Birdo Prey. Thank you, Random Menace. Chrono says, I like making myself, I like making of myself more, Birdo Prey. That's fine. You like making yourself more? Okay. Dear Bop, long time listener, first time writer. I have a friend I have known for some time, but I don't really care for that person anymore. What should I do? Stay with the person and continue the friendship and be miserable, or tell the person the truth and hurt them? What to do? Signed, Anonymous. I don't understand. Either they're your friend or they're not your friend. I have a friend I've known for some time and don't really care for that person anymore. So then you're not interested in being friends with them. You don't have to come out right and say, I don't want to be friends with you. That's pretty crappy. But just stop making plans with them. I don't know. If they call you to make plans, find an excuse. Say you're busy or something. And yeah, it's crappy. You might want to say, listen, I just don't like you. But I would argue that if you honestly stop liking them for some reason and they didn't change, then what changed with you? Are you okay? Are you having an emotional or a physical or some type of problem that you need to help get over? Because it's kind of weird that there's somebody that you were friends with for a long time, then all of a sudden you just get sick of them. Yeah, I've heard of it happening, but generally when it happens, I find it to be more something is wrong with the person who is having the change of heart than the friend themselves. No, not always. It could be that the friend has, become friends with somebody else who's changing their personality or whatever, or they got married and now they're not the same person they used to be, or they got divorced and they're not the same person they used to be. So if it's something like that, maybe you do owe it to your friend to tell them, listen, ever since X, happened, you've changed. Ever since your divorce, you've changed. Ever since your dog died, you changed. Ever since you started smoking drugs or drinking alcohol or whatever, you changed. Ever since you started voting for a particular party, you changed. Whatever it is, if that's what honestly happened, then yeah, be honest with them. But if you can't picture anything they did, and you just woke up one day and you were tired of their face and tired of their voice, and you're like, I don't know how I was ever friends with this person. First, you should evaluate your own life. And then I would say, don't burn your bridge with the friend. Just tell them you're not interested, you're not available for a while, and just kind of hope they get the message. I would not recommend you saying I'm done with you. That just it just seems so final. Chronos says, does it really matter? I don't know. Rox says, Bird of Prey, you didn't get the Avengers Infinity War references. No, I guess not. Rox says, Chronos, you don't have to be Bird of Prey's friend to be his lover. Oh my God. Oh my God. Chronos says, Bird of Prey, I burned my bridges behind me. Well, that's your choice. Dear Bop, glory to you and your house. Thank you, Gowron. Dear Bop, do us a big favor, Thomas, and shut the F up. Hail Caroga for friend Walker B. I don't get that reference either. Dear Bob, have you ever watched Interstellar? And if so, what's your review of it? Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, I did not like Interstellar. I don't think I did. I have to remember, which one is Interstellar? The only one I kind of liked was the one where the guy woke up. Was it Chris Pratt? Yeah, no, I did not like Interstellar. I forget which the name of the movie was, but there was a movie where uh-oh. Okay. There was a movie where I think it was anyway, a guy woke up early and he ended up waking up some other woman early, and yeah, it wasn't believable, but I thought there was some uh Passengers, thank you. It was Passengers. There was some redemption to that movie. It wasn't a great movie, but it was redeemable. Chrono says you didn't see the chat I typed. The last chat I saw you typed was I burned my bridges behind me. Mago says Birdo bad advice pray. Wow. Birdo bad advice. Professor says Birdo pray, I don't like you anymore. I don't like Interstellar. What the hell is wrong with you? Random Menace says Passengers. And Crow says, wow, Bird of Prey uses a leftist channel to gain info. What, Wikipedia is not a leftist channel. And Professor Brainy Space says, Bird of Prey, the Random Menace is correct. That's Passengers. Thank you. Dear Bob. Hi, Janet. Thanks for the nudes. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Behind this house in Bayside. Bo L. I have no idea. Kronos says, wow, Bird of Prey doesn't respond. I don't know what you want me to respond to, Kronos. Captain Trax says, Bird of Prey, there are times it is best to burn bridges and dynamite any remains, but only if you are sure it's over. I disagree, Cap. Kronos says, where Wiki is leftist. Wow. Rockstar says, I don't like Bird of Prey anymore either, but I don't think I like him any less either. And Dan says, Bird of Prey, I certainly wouldn't pay to keep Wikipedia going. Well, it is kind of impressive from a technical standpoint. Dear Bob, I also have mobility problems and live with mother. What would you do if you in-house, just you and your mother, and she chokes in another room? Do you help? It's difficult being in a condition and still wanting to help. It would be scary. Generally, Mama Prey doesn't eat in other rooms. But even if she choked 12 feet away from me, I would have a problem. I'd have to call 911, and we have certain... Mama Prey says if she started choking, she'd make her way over to me. I could try to knock her hard in the back. And if I needed to, we'd call 911. There was one time I did have to call, well, it was more than one time, but the first time I had to call 911, Mama Prey was in the garage trying to trying to shut off the water main, and the pipe broke, and the water was shooting out, and it was shooting right at the electrical box. And Mama Prey was standing between the water and the electrical box. It was freezing outside. The pipe burst. Mama Prey couldn't get the water main to shut off, so she was screaming at the top of her lungs, because it was very hard for me to hear her down in the basement, to call 911. So he called for the fire department, figuring they'd be able to help her shut the water main off. And then luckily, just as they got here, she managed to get it off.
It was the electric heat right behind you.
The electric heater, the water was had, right, yeah.
Afraid.
She was afraid that she was going to get electrocuted if she moved.
But then there was the time you had to call.
Then there was a time she was super sick in November, a few months ago, and that time she did end up having to go to the hospital. That was scary. I got lucky first time that Sisso Prey was still nearby at that time. And she was, even though she managed to unlock the door before collapsing on the floor and vomiting, so that they could let the ambulance could come in. So it's scary. You need to have plans. You need to think ahead. Basically, if God forbid something unexpected happens, I have near me, I have the garage door opener. And during the day, we generally keep the garage door between the house and outside unlocked. Mom probably locks it at night. So if something happened during the day, I could press that and let people in. And if at night, God forbid, something happened, I would just open the garage door and I'd let them use the axe to break through my downstairs door and come on up and get her. But yeah, you need a plan. You need a plan, and it is scary as poop. It is extremely scary. It is the kind of thing that causes anxiety. Yeah, so also I have phone numbers and email addresses for neighbors that if an emergency, they could hopefully come over. Yeah. Crow says, wow, bird, right? And I read that. Dan says, I don't think you can give Heimlich maneuver. No, but I could punch her in the back. Crow says, what a sacrifice, bird of prey. Professor Brainy Spike says, bird of prey, you must know Interstellar is a brilliant film, deep psychological meaning, cutting edge, realistic depictions of physics, something sorely lacking in most movies, great music and acting. I think we saw a different movie. Roxas, bird of prey, that could have been a shocking experience. It could have been. Definitely have a plan beforehand, before you need it. Dear Bop, have you ever had to return food that's been delivered to you, and would you eat from them again? I'm not good at sending back food. No, I have had to send back food in restaurants, and then no, I don't give them a second chance. If I have to send back a food in the restaurant, I just say take it off my bill, because I'm not going to eat it again. I used to eat it, but I go on at some point I got to an age I'm like, no, it's over. I'm done. Even if I wanted to eat it, it's too late. I ruined my taste. Dear Bop, if you don't read my Dear Bop by 5:30 p.m. Eastern Monday, 4/26, it's too late. I have died. Goodbye, world. Well, shit. 45 minutes. Oh well. I guess I've lost a subscriber. Ode to the unknown subscriber, because they didn't leave a name. Dear Bop, why do some Star Wars fans only watch live action and all Star Wars content? Don't they want the whole story? I don't care, honestly. The whole Star Wars story for me is just the movies. I don't care. It's honestly the same for Star Trek, except I watch the TV show and the movies. There's books, there's comic books. I read a couple over the years. I read a few. I used to read a bunch of books. When Enterprise went off the air, I went on a Star Trek book blitz because there was no new Trek. So I read a bunch of books in the years after Enterprise was off. But since then, no, I stopped. I don't care. I don't care. I don't consider most of that stuff the whole story. Hell, even actual Star Trek TV shows as of today, like Discovery, Picard, and Lower Decks, I don't consider part of the whole story. Dear Bop, I read same question, second time. Same question a third time. Same question a fourth time. Fifth time, I see there was a problem, and a sixth time. Dear Bop, I know you were being a smart ass recommending using super glue on a wound, but did you know I wasn't being a smart ass? I do know super glue does work. It's not ideal, but it has worked for people in emergency situations. Did you know super glue was actually developed during World War II as a field dressing and liquid stitches? It was essentially used to patch up soldiers that needed to stop bleeding out as quickly as possible, and they did not have access to actual stitches. This is a true story. Please feel to look it up to verify. RXP. I will double check, but I believe it. Was super glue invented for wounds? Call it the secret life of super glue. During Vietnam War, emergency medics began using all-purpose glue to seal battle wounds in troops headed for surgery. The glue was so good at stemming bleeding that it was credited with saving many lives. So yeah, it is a legit thing. It is a legit thing. You can, if all you got is super glue to cover a wound, use it. Professor Brainy Specs says, Bird of Prey, you need canceled? I need canceled? What does that mean? I need to be canceled? Dear Bop, nonsense. Thank you for proving my point. Dear Bop, this may be more for Sister of Prey. I guess you mean of Prey. But perhaps you can help me. I have a child with someone I am no longer married to, and the IRS gave her mother the stimulus money just last month when I should have gotten it. I just got a check Friday from the IRS for $1,400, so I have been made whole. The question that I have is, will the government either come after me for the $1,400 that she received and should not have? Will they take it out of her taxes she files next year? Or will the government just say, my bad, and be done with it? My daughter's mother is a money-grubbing succubus, so I'm mentally prepared for the whining, bitching, and moaning they will come my way if and when they try to take that $1,400 back from her. They'll probably just find a way to take it back from you. Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised you got the $1,400. Don't worry about it. That's between your ex and the government. I don't think they're going to just give it to her. I would love that to be, oh yeah, the IRS just gave away an extra $1,400. In reality, I don't think it works like that. They will probably find a way to get it from her. Probably not for a while. Probably not for a while until COVID is over. But my guess is eventually she'll get a letter that she's going to get a small amount taken out of her taxes. Like if she gets a tax return every year, they'll take it out of her next tax return or something. Tax refund. Dear Bob, I need you to help coming up with a good way to make sure no one knows I write to you for advice. Signed, your faithful Caroga Yitza Lemons. P.S. Who is Frank and Freddie? P.S. Why is Frank and Freddie? P.S. How is Frank and Freddie? Well, Frank and Freddie are an imaginary couple that do not exist. So your other questions are null and void. Josh Street puts in a link to the history of superglue. That's cool. Dear Bob, do you think cheese gives people nightmares? I get to worry to eat cheese when it gets late at night. I do not believe cheese gives people nightmares. It depends perhaps on the cheese. I would say cheddar, mozzarella, American, you're okay. Velveeta melts better than cheddar. Those are fine. Now, if you go, Swiss, Munster, those are all fine. Now, if you go with some crazy cheeses, like especially like spicy, like pepper jack or spicier or something to that effect, maybe those cause some type of nightmares. But for the most part, most cheeses are pretty benign. I don't believe they cause any psychological symptoms. Dear Bob, if Democrats in California vote against Caitlyn Jenner, doesn't that mean they're transphobic? I mean, if people only voted against Obama because they were racist, against Clinton because they were sexist, doesn't that logic work? Yes, it does. Anybody who doesn't vote for Caitlyn Jenner is transphobic. Kronos says, Velveeta, what the F's? I'm just saying, Kronos, I've learned this through TV commercials, that Velveeta melts better than cheddar. I don't have the scientific data to back it up. I assume the research is out there. I assume there's some type of peer-reviewed paper published by Cheese University. But no, I don't have it offhand. I just know I've always heard the claim Velveeta melts better than cheddar, and I assume if that was false, then somebody would have been sued for false advertising by now. Kronos is racist towards dumbasses. Well, that is very racist of you. Dear Bob, here's a Star Trek quote of the day for you. Q, you hit me. Picard never hit me. Cisco, I'm not Picard. And then Q says, like, how much better for me. Make you all that much easier. But then he never came back because Q didn't want to be punched in the face. Dear Bob, I just got a boob job and would like to know if you have an opening in your she-male harem. Signed, Aberjam. No, Aberjam, there is no she-male harem, so good luck with your life, but not interested. Chrono says, don't assume. Dear Bob, have you seen Groundhog Day? Yes. Dear Bob, F the Cubs, the Cardinals, Pirates, Reds, love the Brewers all the way, soft putty. Dear Bob, I have a serious problem with spatial orientation. I do not understand how people could navigate with stars or even maps. I have GPS and I missed the turn anyway. I was pretty good navigating with GPS. I don't know about navigating with stars, but man, they did it. They did it. They managed to find their way from Europe, from Asia, from Africa to the United States, to island, forget the United States, to just small islands in the Atlantic and the Pacific, the Canary Islands, right? The Hawaiian Islands, Easter Island. They managed to find their way to these tiny ass islands in giant oceans before GPS. It boggles the mind that we were able to produce compasses and sextants that were so of such great quality that you could find, a little piece of land that represents 0.00001% of the land of the ocean, and you could get to within viewing distance of it so that you could then just find your way to shore. It is unbelievable how well we developed sailing tools. I gotta say, it is impressive thing. It is the most impressive thing we've done as a species. You say, like, even the pyramids, there's some debate. Did we do that or did aliens do that? Nobody debates that, we as humans were the ones navigating the seas. We know aliens didn't, weren't aboard Christopher Columbus's ship. Although he did see an alien, a UFO, towards the end of his voyage, but at least basic ship navigation. Even going back to the Vikings, that was us. That was human beings. Dear Bob, get well soon, Anti-Tracker. Absolutely. We all wish Anti-Tracker to get well soon. I hope to see him streaming again on YouTube one day, or even Twitch if that's what he's got to do. But somewhere back to the days when we could make fun of each other without feeling bad. I could make fun of him without feeling bad for him. That's what I miss. Kronos says, I like the motion of the ocean. I hear you, Kronos. I've been watching a channel that's all about cruises lately. And it's like, why? I'm never going to go on a cruise. I was on a cruise one time in my entire life. Tried to go on a second, never made it. Am I ever going to cruise again? In all likelihood, never, ever will I cruise again. Even if I had a miracle recovery. And even if, a month from now, I'm walking, and 2 months from now, I'm driving and flying. Am I ever going to get on a ship crowded with petri dishes of people with God knows what type of illnesses, that if I'm lucky, all I will get is the poops. And if I'm not lucky, I could spend weeks or months quarantined in some godforsaken port. No, I honestly don't ever think I would sail again. And yet, for whatever reason, I find myself fascinated lately by cruise videos. You see these videos from 2019 where you had all these people on ships packed so tightly, and jumping and dancing and grinding, and like, oh my God, how is it possible that we survived? And it's like these things were growing the new diseases and passing them from port to port. But yeah, I don't know. One day, who knows? Maybe one day life will be back to normal. And Dear Bob, I love this song from Kronos. The Love Boat. What is this song? Oh, this guy. The Dr. Fauci song. Yeah, I can't play it because of copyright, but it is a cringy song. The cringe factor on this song is off the charts. That said, I gotta give him props. For singing the song. Now, if you see the version where there's no audio and you just see this kid shaking, you are not getting the full experience. You've got to make sure that you're listening to one where he's actually singing. And then it's a whole different experience. You don't feel bad for him. You say, oh, he actually did pretty good. It is, like I said, it is cringe to the max, but so be it. I gotta say, good for him. Now, there is this one thing though, and it's very hard to see, but on this slide, restrictions will lift with some ease. I don't know how else to say it, but it looks like he drew a penis under the word lift. It looks like it's an erect penis pointed up somewhat. I don't understand what the hell this is supposed to be. I think somebody said that's supposed to be Long Island. I tell you, that is a very suspicious placement for Long Island. I think he might have trolled us all. I'm pretty sure that's a penis that he got on the news all over. But you know what, kid? Good for you. Good for you. I am shocked. Josh reads his Bird of Prey. Let's watch the Love Boat in Space, better known as TNG, when Futurama is over. Yeah, when Futurama is over, we're gonna have some serious changes. I don't know about serious, but we're gonna have some changes to the schedule when Futurama is over. I'm still not exactly sure how it's going to work, but we're not going to be going. I don't think we're going to be going directly to something else. I might turn Cinema Saturday into Cinema Sunday. I might. I'm not 100% sure what, but we'll see. We'll see when we get closer. That's another couple months away at least, though. Nothing to worry about right now. Anyway, Sven, the naked Nordic ninja, says my hairy trunk keeps my pinky warm. Good for you, Sven. JP's says as long as there's no hair on the trunk. Yeah, well, there wasn't on that one. Kronos gives no props. Jaws reaches bird of prey. Yeah, no, we're not watching TNG. The Love Boat. I forget the rest of the words. We used to, not that we used to. When one summer when I was working for Mr. Frank, we had a summer where he rented 2 private yachts. And these were the big fancy preppy yachts type things, 100+ foot vessels. You can't wear your shoes on board type things. Rich mahogany, flat panels, beautiful, like 100. Each boat, each ship, have probably cost northwards of $1 million, or 4 or 5 million. To the point that he had 2 ships, one for him, which was the vessel was called Big Play, which was a big one, and then a slightly smaller one for his staff to sleep on, to follow him. I rarely got to sleep on the boat. I followed on land more than the boat, which was happy with me, fine with me. But on the staff boat, I mean, the crew would treat us like we were the ones renting the boat. So like they would treat us like we were the millionaires renting the boat. But we're like, we're not the millionaires. We're just his staff, like you're the staff of the boat. So we would, talk with them and just hang out at times. And they were not used to just chilling with other people. So we were like getting all like the dirt and stuff on, what happens and who's crew. And I can't repeat some of this stuff because it was told in confidence. But famous people were on these ships and whatnot. But some of these people also worked for the cruise industry. And that's how they got into the private cruising. And you'd hear all these stories about what would happen below decks on cruise ships. And I was like, oh my God. It's like, if only we knew. I mean, you could certainly do a sitcom or a horror based on a ship, basically a Love Boat type situation, but instead of each week having new guests on, just base it on the crew, the permanent crew. And they change out every so often, but maybe that was what the Love Boat was. I honestly don't think I ever saw an episode of the Love Boat, but I got the feeling that it was mostly about who came in each week, and it was just with the captain and a few of the top officers, not the people doing the cooking and the cleaning and the engineering. Professor Brainy Speck says, Vertebrae, I like the idea of Cinema Saturday becoming Cinema Sunday. I had a feeling you would, Professor. I had a feeling you would. Staph infection. That is not something you want to have. Dave G. Sounds as a sitcom on a ship based on lower decks. Nah. Sven says Gilligan's Island is better. That's true. Random Menace says Love Boats, lower decks. That's it. But not animated. Not animated. But with these days, I don't think you can really do a cruise ship. Because, I mean, like, the industry's decimated. I don't think anybody wants to watch a cruise. And I don't think you could film. I don't think anybody would get clearance to film on a cruise ship because of just how, how close everybody is. That is an outbreak waiting to happen. Anyway, guys, thank you all for listening, watching. Thank you for listening to me rant about Stowaway, the channel updates. Again, for everyone, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, I'm planning on doing a members only stream. If you are a member at any level on YouTube, channel member that you've joined the channel at any level on YouTube or on Subscribestar, check Subscribestar or YouTube community section of my webpage tomorrow. There will be a link to a 4 p.m. stream. It'll be about an hour long. That'll just be for YouTube members and Subscribestar members. After tomorrow, there will be no more Subscribestar members on YouTube streams. Members only streams will only be YouTube members. There are two new membership levels coming to the YouTube membership. There's a least expensive membership for $2.99 and a super expensive $99.99. I don't expect anybody to ever actually get the $99.99 level, but if you do, you will be able to pick one of 4 cinema Saturdays a month. That's the perk. Although I would suggest there are restrictions, so do check with me first before you purchase it if you have your heart set on a specific movie. And that's about it. We will go on from there. I can't end your Subscribestar payments. Only you can end your Subscribestar payments. I tried. They say, nope, you've got to ask your subscribers to cancel. That is literally the way they get you. They don't let me cancel. They say you have to ask your subscribers to cancel. So I'm asking to please cancel because I don't want you to pay and not get any benefits. But if you want to keep paying, you still can. I just feel bad. And that's it. That's it. Tomorrow, so tomorrow we'll do a private stream and then we will do a regular member stream. We'll probably be playing a game and doing open lines. And Wednesday is DS9 Wednesday. I think it's The Ascent. I'm not 100% sure what this next episode is on DS9 Wednesday. I think it's The Ascent. If it is The Ascent, that is not my favorite DS9. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's Let He Who Was Without Sin. Okay, this is the episode where Worf and Jadzia and Bashir and Lita and Quark go to Risa. So this is a funny episode. I don't know about being a great episode of DS9, but it's kind of a funny episode of DS9 this Wednesday. The following week is The Ascent. That's where Odo and Quark get trapped on a planet, have to climb a mountain. So yeah, this week is He Without Sin. And yeah, that's about it. Then Thursday will be another open lines, and Friday we're back to bed life. Saturday is Top Gun. And Sunday, I might eat the out-of-date spam that Mama Pray has saved for me. JP's Tabernacle, Qapla JP's, has become a friend of Caroga. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, so right now there's 3 levels. There's 2 more levels pending approval by YouTube. That'll probably take a day or so to get approved. That's the Carogan Orphan level and Carogan Royalty level. Later, Kronos. Captain Trek says, have a good evening, all. And Geeks Enjoy Neurotica is welcoming JPs. And yes. And guys, I assume Geeks Enjoy Neurotica has his backstage open at this point. So if you don't want the party to end, you can head over there. If he wants to put in his link, the links are indeed working these days. Nobody's deleting them. And with that, I think we're going to say, call it an end. Bird out and Qapla. And I should probably press something. The next thing I'm redoing is this ending credits. Frankly, it's old and it needs a lot of updating. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything Bird of Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdoPrey5 or on BirdoPrey5.com. Take care.